best year ever. Welcome to 2015, and I'm thrilled to have you all here today. I'm excited to have you join me on one of my very favorite topics, especially this time of year. It's a great time to dig into what you want to create in your life this year and just take a little time for reflection and digging in. I know several of you participated in webinars before, but do ask you to try to, just a few pointers. There is a way to mute your line down if you need to. Just look for the mute button on the side in your diagram box. And when we're going to try to keep this a really open conversation today, and so as we start to have discussions today, just identify who's speaking so everybody can know who you are, and you just use your first name, and we'll keep this all confidential amongst ourselves today. It's an important part of this class to really just kind of dig in, share. The more you share, the more you get involved and engaged, the more you'll get out of this. This class will be recorded and will be shared with other people who weren't able to make it at this specific time. So do know that. But I do ask, just to try to minimize any noise that you have in the background. And if you have noise around you, just mute yourself down until we open up the lines for discussion. That way I won't have to scroll back and forth trying to unmute people. This is a safe space. This is a place for you to really start to listen to what your heart wants. What do you want to make happen in 2015? And this is just one of the things that I love to do. I love to offer this free class a couple times a year. And I'm Cammie Gellner. I'm a life and leadership empowerment coach. I help wildly successful men and women discover their next chapter in life, one that's really meaningful and passionate. So this is what I love to do. I love to help people connect into their heart's callings and really help you manifest your dreams. This class is designed for people who want to get into action and turn someday into now. If you're ready to make 2015 your best one yet, you're in the right place. So this is a two-part session, two-part class we will do today. There will be a little bit of homework between this week and next week, and then next Thursday we will have our second class, same time, same place. So let's get started. 2015. What would you do? What would make 2015 your best year yet, your best year ever? I would love to hear from a few of you out there. Just jump in, state your first name. Tell us what you'd like to make happen in 2015.
Decide what it is that I really want to do with my career, because too many times I have finished the day at work and have realized that I am not playing in my strengths and I'm not happy, and I have a bigger calling, and I need to really understand what that is and guide that into either a career or a business for myself. So that's my 2015 goal.
Okay, so you're ready to really pick up and kind of make some big changes in your life, it sounds like.
Yes.
Yes. So everybody. So thank you so much, Debbie, for sharing yours. Who else would like to share what would make 2015 your best year ever? Just jump in. Elizabeth, how about you?
This is Connie. I'm just getting started, but I have to echo everything Debbie said. I would be really excited to be going down my life's path where I can really be excited about my strengths, excited about where I'm going, excited about bringing that passion for life to others, because I'm sitting kind of in the same place with a job that is very uninspiring, but yet provides a living. So although I'm just getting started, I'm very excited about it and very much committed to the process in
Yeah.
You know I'm there.
Yeah, and I'm thrilled to have you on board, Tony, and it's going to be a really awesome year for you because you've got some great ideas.
Thank you.
So you know where you do know where you're going.
So,
Anyone else?
Yeah.
Anyone else want to share?
This is Elizabeth.
Hi, Elizabeth. Good to hear from you.
Thanks. I'll build on that comment that was just made. You know, last year, I guess it was last December, you and I finished up our sessions, and so I've spent, you know, this last year really excelling in that direction in which you helped guide me towards and give me the confidence to move forward in what my heart was telling me to do. So I have to say, for 2015, I just want to continue to build upon that success. My business is going really well. I am calmer than I've ever been and more peaceful and more at home in my life than I've ever been. So I just want to keep continuing and probably maybe jump it up another level.
Nice. You know, one of the things I've been having fun with is assigning a theme to a year. So as we're kicking off this year, you might be thinking about what's the theme for this year. And we're going to dig into this a little bit deeper. But that theme, it's kind of fun to watch the theme as years progress. It was like, okay, this was the year of this kind of growth, and then this next year is the year of, you know, a different type of growth. So a great way for you to start thinking about that. Thank you, Elizabeth. So some key areas of life, and what I want you guys to do is to write down these 8 different areas. Are you seeing these? The health, fitness, and wellness, professional, career, and business, money, friends and family, significant other, romance, significant other / romance, home, physical environment, fun, recreation, and personal growth and spirituality. So write down those 8 things on a sheet of paper. And what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you go down this list and rate on a scale of 1 to 10 your satisfaction level with each one of these areas. So, for example, on health, fitness, and wellness, which is one of my areas, core areas that I'm focusing on this year, just identify what you think your current satisfaction level is. I might put, for example, a 7 on that one right now. So just go through each one of those and define what your current satisfaction rating is. And then, after you've done that, I want you to go back through this list and write down the level of satisfaction you would like it to be at if you had your best year ever. So, for example, on the health, fitness, wellness, my initial number might have been be a 7. I'd like to be at a 9 or a 10 at the end of this year. So when you look at the 2 lists of numbers, what do you notice? Let's hear some feedback on what you notice on your different numbers as you look down the list.
Tammy, this is Debbie.
Uh-huh.
My numbers are not the same.
Okay. Are there some that kind of jump out at you?
Oh, I haven't gone down the entire list yet, but so far nothing is matching.
and I don't expect them to, right? Because I mean, it's this is a lot very often. We're just kind of taking an assessment. Anyone else?
I was going to say, as far as like with jumping out, like my health, fitness, and wellness is another thing that I really want to focus on this year. I've let things slide the last 6 months. And so my initial rating of that would be a 2, but by the end of 2015, I would like it to be at an 8.
Is it a 2 for you, my marathon runner?
I haven't ran a marathon since like right before I broke my foot in May.
Okay. Okay. That's fair enough.
Okay.
Anyone else see something that's jumping out there for you? What comes up for you? Does it feel? What do you notice from an emotional perspective as you look at this list?
So, Cammie, this is Deb. I'd say that there's a few things where I feel this juxtaposition. I've got some gratitude for where I'm at with a few of the things, but then there's this also super critical, like self-critical aspect of it where, you know, obviously there's a gap between most of these arenas, and so you're kind of like, should I feel grateful, or should I, you know, or should I minimize this negative self-talk about where I am, or so that's what I'm experiencing there.
Well, I want to really appreciate the gratitude that you noticed, first of all, where you said, okay, this was really good to me, and I'm thankful for that. And then it's really normal to see some gaps in here. So be okay with that, and just know that this is an opportunity. You're taking an assessment first part of the year. You're saying, okay, which ones of these would I really like to change? And in fact, that's where I want you all to go next, because I want to start thinking about which one of these areas you would most like to change. So take a look at that. And I want you to circle that area. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about what we're going to be going through over the next 2 weeks. We're going to be looking at how you create change in your life and on any one of these things, the success strategy. We're going to look at what you want to change, what it is you want. We're going to look at why you want that, and we're going to look at how you get there. And right now, today, I don't want you even thinking about how, because we're going to really focus over on the what and the why side of this. And when you look at what you want to change, when you look through that list of different things that you can change, and there's one area that you're going to focus in on, and it's important just to pick one area. I know that the thing that we most want to do is we want to, say, okay, I want to change I want to change 5 of these things. And that's not what I want you to do. We're going to be much more successful if we pick one of these areas that you're going to really focus in on and not try to change too much at once. You can always go back to these other areas as the year progresses. But early on in the year, I would love for you to just pick one of these. We're going to talk about what and what you really want, and we're going to start moving into let's make a decision. And decision is about your commitment to this area. And I want to talk a little bit about the difference between a decision and a goal. A decision is a declaration. It's a commitment. It's where you are standing. There's no turning back. For an example would be that I live a really healthy life where I exercise regularly. I'm going to yoga all the time. I'm eating really healthy, good foods putting in my body. I'm sleeping regularly. I'm just looking fabulous. I'm feeling fantastic, and I have tons of energy. So that's more of a decision versus a goal. The goal would be I want to lose 20 pounds. And when you start thinking about it, goals are really important and really useful, but the power is in the decision. Because once you make a committed decision, you can always set goals along the way that support that decision, but the decision's got to come first. You aren't going to make big changes in your life until you're fully committed. So the first decision is the first step. Now you get to decide. I want you to think of the area that you want to focus on the most. And I want you to think about what conscious decision can you make about your commitment to making a positive change in this area. So I'm going to just give you a couple minutes, and I want you to write out your decision. Again, it's not about a goal. It's about, you paint the picture. You're living it. You're feeling it. What is it about you? Your surroundings and your environment. How do you feel about it? So just take a moment to write out your decision around that one area that you want to make a change to. Is there questions? No questions? So once you've made a decision, the next step is to get committed. Your only limitation is desire. How badly do you want to achieve the vision you have for yourself in this area? The more you desire the goal, the more likely you are to do what is necessary. One way to get really committed to your vision, we're talking about why here, and one way to get really committed to your vision is what Tony Robbins calls the pain-pleasure principle. Simply put, you're going to put incredible amounts of pain to abandoning focus and an incredible amount of pleasure to achieving it. I'm going to ask you 3 questions, and I want you to think about the main area in your life you want to focus on. And as you write down the answers to these questions, here's 3 questions. What will you miss out on your life if you don't make the changes you want? What will it cost you if you're not moving your life in the direction of your long-term vision? How will it hinder you spiritually, emotionally, financially, or physically if you don't make the change in this area of your life? So I don't need you to answer all 3 of these questions, but I want you to think about this from an overarching umbrella and think back to what that decision is and what you want to focus on in your life. And what happens if you don't achieve this? Take a moment to write down your responses there. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to hear from someone, first of all, what your powerful decision is, what your example is, and then second of all, what it would feel like if nothing changes. And Marianne, I've got your audio muted down because I think I was getting a lot of feedback off your line. So if you want me to open it up, just raise your hand and I'll do that. Let's hear from someone we haven't heard from yet. How about Karen? You're muted down, Karen, on your end.
Hi, Tammy.
Hi.
I was getting some feedback, so I haven't been participating.
Good.
Can you hear me? Because I hear a ton of feedback.
Yeah, I hear a ton of feedback. Is this Karen?
Yeah.
Okay, you're right. It may not work because we're getting a lot of feedback off of your
Let me
line.
write it in the control panel, and I'll mute myself.
Okay, I'll look for that. Okay, who else would like to share? How about you, Mynell? We haven't heard from you. You're muted down, though, so you'll have to unmute yourself. Hi, how are you? Yeah.
Good. How are you?
Good. Good. So tell us, first of all, what your powerful decision is.
Well, my decision is to search for the next adventure that puts the bounce back in my step.
Ooh, I like that.
And
I like that.
I just, you know, my year is all about career and work, and I really like for it to be fun, and it's more of an adventure for me than it is a must-do. That's how I like to look at it, so I can find something fun that puts a bounce in my step.
Mm-hmm.
So what will I miss in life if I don't make any change?
Uh-huh.
I think if I continue to be where I am, I don't open the possibilities of what is out there that I know is waiting for me.
Okay. And so you know that there's something there. And when you talk about having bounce in your step, I mean, I really like that step. I like the adventure word, and I like the bounce in your step. What brings bounce in your step?
And that's exactly what I'm trying to figure out, because I've had it before. I know some of the recipe that needs to be there.
Okay.
And I just need to, let's just say, I need to tell myself that it's okay to let go of where I am now, and that something will come out of me letting go. And even though it's a little scary to let go of something that pays well, that has you employed, that gives you something to do, that it's okay to let go of that in order to find what will truly just deep down inside make me feel good and happy about what I'm doing.
Right. So sometimes we have to open up that space to let something else come in, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
And the other thing that I tapped into as you were talking there was, you know the ingredients, you know the recipe, and I think what you're saying is you know the ingredients within that recipe that help bring that spring back. Can you identify a couple of those?
Yeah, I mean, doing work that matters, having people that are capable, smart, that challenge me. I have figured that that's important because that's the way I grow. If I have people that are around me that are good and can challenge me. Yeah, and just having opportunities that I have to figure out that are not a given. That it's kind of a territory where people haven't been before that needs to be figured out. Those are kind of the things that, and I know you and I have talked about this in my previous sessions, but it's just some of the things that I know help me feel good about what I'm doing.
Yeah. Yeah. So you know some of those things. So the area that you circled to focus on is your career.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So good. And so you know that if things don't change, it's not going to be. So you feel into this pain principle a bit.
Yeah, and I mean a lot of the long-term, what if I don't do it, kind of what happens to my long-term goal or what happens to me personally. Well, I think where I'm at right now is more emotionally draining than where I could be, and I think that leads to physical and more spirituality and emotionally, you know, those are the areas that I would say hinder if I don't make a change. So they're kind of,
because you don't have the energy for those.
What's that?
You don't have the energy for those.
Correct.
Right. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
And we're going to. And by the way, we will get out of the pain principle here in very shortly. So we're going to get into the pleasure principle of what happens when you change. Karen did share, since she's not able to talk here, she said that she's loving her job and she really wants to expand her time into some volunteer options. So that's an area that she wants to focus on. Who else would like to share what area you put a positive or a powerful decision around, and just a little bit about the pain principle associated with it? How about you, Royally?
I'm kind of like working on the career aspect too.
Okay, so tell us a little bit. So that's the one you circled. What was your powerful decision?
Was to develop more of my strengths to see where they can lead me down further in my path. Because I feel like right now I'm kind of where I'm at, but I can go much further. And so I need to develop those strengths and figure out what I need to do to make those happen.
So really shine a light on your strengths so that you're living into that space really well.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. And when you describe that powerful decision, what did you write down?
I wrote down, like, for me, it's trying different things to see what my options are.
Okay.
And, like, just talking to other people about what they feel my strengths are.
Okay.
Not only feeling what I think they are, but what other people think they are too.
What's the outcome you'd like of that? I mean, so assume that you start working more into your strengths and start being in that space where you're tapping into that every day. What's that feel like when you're doing that? Paint that picture a little bit for me.
So I'm a real people person, and currently I'm in an office.
Okay.
So I miss that people aspect where I used to have that.
Okay.
And kind of get a little bit more back into that.
Okay.
Where I'm exposed to people throughout the day. And sharing who I am and what I can do to help them.
Yeah, so that it makes you feel more alive when you're working with people is what I'm hearing. Is that right?
Definitely. Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, and that might be something you build into that, and then you're going to get the chance to kind of continue to work on your decision statement, where you describe how you feel when you go to work, and you are working with people all day long, and kind of identify some of the strengths and how it makes you feel, because that, if you start feeling into that emotion and how you feel in that space, that's going to help you really get that what you want.
Yep.
Okay. And then, how did it feel if nothing changes?
Like I'm stuck and I have no energy.
Okay. And we're not going to be there. We're not going to be there.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. How about one more? I would like to hear one more. Stacy, we haven't heard from you. You'll have to unmute yourself. You're self-muted. Are you there? Doesn't look like you're unmuting. How about you, Marion?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I've unmuted you.
Okay. This is kind of hard because this is an area of romance.
Whoops, you're kind of muffly sounding though.
I don't know how to change that.
What was that?
I don't think I can change that. I'm speaking through my computer.
Oh, okay. Is your computer open? Is it a laptop?
It's a laptop, but it's not open.
Open up the top of it. Can you do that? I think you'll get a much better sound.
Is that better?
Yes.
Clearly, you can hear me?
Oh, yes, much better.
Okay. So this is around romance. And the decision that I wrote down was that I am opening my heart so that I can see and attract the man into my life whom I will share a fun, exciting, and mutual loving relationship with.
Nice.
So in the pain category, if I don't, what will I miss out on? Scary adventures. What will it cost you? I'll be spending more time alone than I want to. And how will it hinder me spiritually, emotionally, blah, blah, blah. It's harder to have to write longer on that, but
okay. Okay. I like the your decision statement. I think you painted the picture really nicely. And I think what we need to get into now.
It's kind of a hard thing to do because you know, how do you make a decision to open your heart?
How do you make a decision to open your heart?
Yeah, it's just kind of obscure.
Yeah, and then that's, even the awareness behind it, it's like, gosh, it feels, you know, it's a hard thing to open my heart. Stating that out loud is it moves you, it shifts you, and if you can say, okay, I would like to open my heart, and you start putting that into the positive side of things, that's going to, and even being cognizant of what it feels like when you don't open your heart and when you open your heart. I mean, you can physically feel that, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think I put the word so that I can see and attract in this decision because I feel like there's the difficulty in knowing whether your heart is open or not. I think you can't
say that
see
again.
people. I don't think you can see as clearly when your heart isn't open.
Right.
And so if you want to attract somebody into your life, you have to be able to see them first.
Yes. Yes. And that's true, right? And so thinking about how do you let that how do you put it out there so that you play in that space of what to feel closed, what feels open, and start just being aware of it. The more you become aware of it, the more you can say, okay, I am open to this right now. And it changes everything in your body when you start to say, I'm open to this. And that could even be an affirmation that you can make on a regular basis. You could say, I'm open to this. You could get up every morning and say, I'm open to this. And it changes. It changes you physically.
I like that.
Okay. Okay. Well, what I want to get into, because I am not, and those of you who know me well know that I am not about staying in a lot of pain. I'm about jumping into the pleasure and what this is going to bring you. I want you to envision and feel what it's going to feel like when you are when you have achieved what you've set up in your decision. So the pleasure principle, you'll be more inspired to take action when you link your positive feelings to your goal and create a strong desire. So the questions here, if you make this change in your life, how will you feel about yourself? So just go back and look at your decision statement one more time. If you make this change in your life, how will you feel about yourself? What kind of momentum could be created in your life when you achieve what you desire? And how do you feel if you are consistently moving forward towards living a life you love? So just take a moment and respond to those questions. Okay. What I'd like to hear from you guys now is how do you feel when you think about the answers you just wrote to these pleasure principle questions? Does it feel different than when you responded to the pain questions?
Yes.
Who is that?
Yeah. I just was saying in my mind, it feels just freer, lighter, less serious, less guarded.
Yeah. And this is really important. I mean, it's really important. What you're describing here is it's what happens to us physically when we start changing and we start talking to ourselves in this pleasure space. So what I want you guys to kind of sign off of from right now, from this point forward, is the pain. Quit digging into the pain side of it. Spend your effort every day, and as you know, I was just mentioning, get up and talk about the pleasure side of your goal, your decision, not your goal, your decision. Get onto the pleasure side of your goal on a daily basis. If you start talking from this side of things, you're going to be moving into it and living into it in a much bigger way, in a much quicker way. Who else hasn't shared what their goal is, their decision is, and could tell us a little bit about what they wrote in their decision, and then also what came out of the pleasure principle? How about Deb S? And S is an initial. I just don't want to say your last name.
Hi there. I had to get unmuted, which was a bit of a challenge. So for some reason, I knew that was going to be me who you'd call on campus. I'm still struggling with balancing out where my decision is. So I'm thinking
let's talk a little bit about it.
I'm thinking about these questions around two things. One is around the health and wellness side, and the other one is around the significant other and romance. And in some ways, they're sort of connected, so this way it's a little bit convoluted in my mind still. But maybe just for the purposes of this, we'll talk about health and fitness and wellness.
Okay.
So let's see. I guess what came to mind.
Oops, hold on a second. Is there somebody talking on the phone? Hello?
Sounds like it's... Oh, they're still there.
Yeah, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to mute everybody and unmute you. Hold on.
All right. I think that worked.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
So what came to mind to begin with on thinking about the pleasure side was just feeling lighter, just sort of lighter on my feet. Somebody had said something about a bounce in their step, which I loved.
Yeah.
So when I'm thinking about changes in wellness and health and all of that, just that feeling of being live and light and fluid and just kind of traveling light, not bogged down and heavy with whether it be physical weight or emotional weight.
Yes.
So thinking about the pleasure side just kind of gave me that more lofted feeling.
And you could take some of those exact same words you just talked about and apply those back into your decision. You could weave those back into your decision to kind of strengthen that, because the more you can paint that picture, and my decision's about feeling lighter, emotionally, physically, that kind of paints that picture around what that decision is, and that can really feed into that. And it can give you, when you think about how does it feel, I know you were talking about you're envisioning this lighter feeling what does that do for you just from when you stop and you think about, okay, what else is going to happen in my life, because I feel and I totally feel the emotional weight that we carry on our shoulders, right? So when that kind of starts to shed away, what is life like at that point?
I think it's more vibrant, less weighing you down, like able to connect with others in a more authentic way. Yeah, so you're not covered in, I want to be covered in this schmag of heaviness.
Yeah. No, and I like the word vibrant too, because what's that? There's energy to that, right? A nice energy to it. Yeah. Okay. So does that help with your decision statement that you were saying that you were kind of waffling on a little bit?
A little, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, everybody's going to get an opportunity to continue to work and refine their statements a little bit more deeply this week. I'm going to unmute everybody. Bear with me a moment. See if we can. Okay, everybody's back unmuted. Okay. So. Your homework assignment for this week. We're getting towards the end of our time, so what I want you to do is I'm going to send you a document after this call's over, and I want you to really write out your vision of what you have for yourself and what you want to achieve in the area that you've been focused in on, and review the decision you made in class today and modify it if you desire. Share that decision with at least 3 people this week. It's an important piece. The more you can go out and share with others what you want to create and manifest in your life, what is important to you. This is the year of. In fact, if you want to create a theme for this year, I think it's an awesome thing. Write a theme out for yourself that this is the year of, whatever you want to make that. Then I want you to review your answers in both the pain and the pleasure questions. And, if there's more detail you want to add to that, take time and do that. Really connect to the feelings that the answers evoke, but really connect to the feelings that are on the positive side of it. Build your desire and commitment to what this is about. This is when you get into this pleasure side of it and start thinking about what can be. This is what puts you into action and starts to move you forward. And then the last thing is to get into action. I want you to take just one step this week. Whatever it could be, something that gets your feet moving, get your body moving toward whatever your your decision is about. So those are the steps that you're going to be taking. And today you begin to manifest your best year ever. What I like to do is just, as we wrap up today, is take a couple moments and hear from a few of you on what you're taking away from today. What new thoughts come to mind? What do you know more now that you didn't know before we started? Would love to hear from any of you. And I've got everybody unmuted on my end, but there's several of you that are muted on your end. So if you're trying to talk and you're not coming through, you might need to unmute on your end.
Kimmy, this is Debbie.
Uh-huh.
So I realized, and I jotted it down, and I put a little question mark just for myself. My decision will be around career. I just simply wrote down, I will wake up enthusiastic about my career. But one of the things that I thought about is that every single time I spend time with my daughter, who's 14, and granted any person might sit there and say, are you crazy? She's a teenager. But I still love to be with my daughter, and I cherish the time that I have with her as a parent. And I thought I'd really love to be around kids. And so I thought, okay, I'm really enthusiastic about fitness, and I'm wanting to go down that path with career, and I've been going back and forth. So then I just jotted down childhood fitness. Not sure where that's going to take me to, but I've been kind of compartmentalizing the two in separate places and not really piecing them together. So that was something that kind of flew in my heart throughout this webinar today. So
I love it, Debbie. And you know what? I got goosebumps when you said that. So that's one of my when I get goosebumps, I say, oh, that's the truth. There's something right. You're spot on with there to explore. So I think that's really exciting.
Well, then I'm very glad I shared that and that you said that.
Yeah. So put some thought into that and start thinking about what if you could go do that and be working with young teenage girls and helping them in their fitness, or teenage kids and helping them in their fitness. How fun that would be, and what that would do for you and that pleasure side of things.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Who else? What are you taking away from today? What do you know differently? How about, I've got you muted, Tony, for some reason. Let me unmute you. I can't unmute you. I don't know why. Huh. How about my nail? You're muted on your end.
I think it's just a focus back on things, Kim. You know, just coming out of the holidays and wrapping a year and then seeing, okay, this is a fresh start. How do I make the best of it? And all of a sudden, and it's really just refocusing my brain as to what I need to do for myself.
Yes. And I think, that's why I think this is such a timely time of year to just even do this workshop, because it is the right time of year to do this. So I totally agree with you. Okay. Thank you so much. So what we covered today were the what and the why part of the success strategy. What you really want, the importance of taking a stand and making a decision around it, and painting that picture, making it, so that you can feel it, that you can live into what that vision looks like, and then why you want it. Getting committed, digging into the pain and the pleasure, but putting a lot of focus on the pleasure side of things. Next week, we're going to start to move into the third part of the what, why, and how success strategy, which is the how part. Specifically, we'll discuss beliefs and goal setting and strategies for staying in action. The call will be the same time next week, 11:30 a.m. Mountain Time. And I'll be sending you some notes with some homework that you'll be able to incorporate into this. And then the last thing is, if any of you are really interested in one of my STU strategy sessions to take this work a little bit more deeply and work one-on-one with me, I will include a link. I did open up some slots on my calendar for you guys to be able to grab this week. Be happy to do one of those with you if you want to take this work any deeper. So thank you. And any questions before we sign off for today? Sorry about all the technology issues we had early on, but looks like we got them all worked out. And we will speak to you all next week. Have an awesome week, and we'll talk soon. Thank you.
Thanks,
Good
Tammy.
session, Cami.
Bye.
Bye.